The founder of this organization called Law Enforcement Today reached out to me. And he said, listen, brother, I see you doing all this pro-law enforcement stuff. And I see you talking about the cops on air. And if you ever need stats or data or information or support or anything like that, let me know. I can help. So I had my staff reach out and we end up having a conversation. And I said, brother, what's your reach like of your platform? That's an important number in advertising. How many people do you reach? He said, how should I know? I said, I thought you own this platform called Law Enforcement Today. He goes, yeah, but I'm a cop. I have no idea. Okay, can I go take a look? He said, yeah. So he gives me access to the back end. I go in, I call him up. I said, you reach 20 million people a month. He goes, oh, is that good? yeah, that's really good. He goes, oh, okay. Should we do something with that? I said, yeah, we should do something with that. So flash forward about 6 months later, Eli, can you stand up for a second? My brother Eli Crane, former SEAL sniper. Eli, did you bring me anything? Did you bring me any breachers? That's okay, I won't hold it against you. So Eli, you probably recognize him from the show Shark Tank. His company turns 50 cal bullets into bottle openers. So Eli regularly appears on The Real Man Show with us. So we were up for a national award for The Real Man Show. And it's in Vegas. So it's myself, and I'm just like a real man. I'm just a dude who likes to hang out with real men, right? Like, I'm about as mechanically inclined as a box of hair. It's not a good situation, which is why I hang out with people who are actually manly. Because if stuff ever goes down, like, I'm just going to take the gun and hand it to Josh or Eli or one of you guys, and we'll be good. So we're out in Vegas, and Eli flies out, and he's got these new products. He's got a 50 cal bottle opener, bottle breacher, a 30 millimeter, and a frag grenade. And they're all bottle openers. And they're all black, and they've got the Punisher logo on them. So we do our filming, and Eli says, all right, bring this back, and you guys could do your thing with it, do filming. I'm like, I don't know if I can, how do I get this back to Connecticut? And so basically we decided that if I ended up having to turn him in or whatever, no big deal, he'll just ship us out some new ones. So I've got these three things in a Pelican case. It's a small black case. It's got the Punisher logo on the front of them. We came in second place for the award, which was ridiculous. We should have come in first place, but we'll talk about that after. And that night they took us out. Now, how many of you are friends with Marines? Has anyone ever been drinking with a Marine before? It is not a good idea. Because they will just keep you going. It's like peer pressure to the extreme. So we go out, and Mike, the Marine, has me drinking, and I don't really drink, believe it or not. I have like 2 drinks a month. That's a lot for me. Well, we had a few cocktails that night, like too many. And we get to the airport at 4:30 a.m. the next morning. So I've got, Eli's already gone, right? He's home safe and sound, and I've got Mike the Marine. I've got this guy, Daniel, we call him Dragon. He's our creative director. He runs all of our cinematography. And me. So we get to the airport. We're all probably just stinking like alcohol. Now, it's probably worth mentioning that this was about a week after Mandalay Bay, so maybe everybody's on heightened alert. And I've got this Pelican case, and in it, I've got these Freedom Tools, bottle openers. I'm like, I'm not going to check it. I'm just going to carry it on. It's okay, don't judge me. I decided I would declare it to TSA, right? So we get up there, we're TSA pre-checked because I fly a lot. Mike the Marine goes through, no problems, leaves a trail of vodka smell behind him. Daniel goes through, no problems. And I said to the TSA agent, I said, ma'am, I don't know if I can bring this through or not, so I'd like to show you what's in it. She goes, sir, put it through the x-ray. I'm like, yeah, ma'am, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'd really like to show you what's in this case because I'm not looking for any trouble. She goes, I said, put it through the x-ray. I said, yeah, but ma'am, I'd like to just open it up because if I have to surrender this, it's no big deal. I don't know. She goes, I said, put it through the x-ray. Okay. So I put my bag through the x-ray, put the Pelican case through the x-ray, beep, 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 hit on my bag. So the guy pulls my bag aside, and I'm wearing my thin blue line hat, and he goes through, and I left a pocket knife in the bag, which apparently it's not that big of a deal. The guy said, oh, listen, you can't really mail this back because the post office isn't open yet. I said, listen, brother, just take it. He goes, we confiscate 500 of these a day. It's no big deal. Now, we're having a very friendly conversation. In the meantime, all these TSA agents are running behind him. And I'm not thinking anything of it. And then all these state troopers are running behind him. And then we see the red flashing thing that goes off when they shut down a terminal. And I look over and I see the look on the woman's face. I mean, just pure horror. And then I see, obviously, the x-ray where you see a 30 millimeter, a 50 cal, and a frag grenade on the x-ray. And the TSA agent who, I'm thinking he and I are boys at this point. We're not. He said, what is that? I said, oh, brother, that's mine. He goes, you got to be kidding me. I said, I know what it looks like, but they're just bottle openers. And I tried to tell her. He goes, don't worry, brother. I'll take care of this. 5 minutes later, the state police explosives team has this Pelican case, and they're walking over. Is this yours? Yes, officer, it is. He says, and I understand that this is safe to open. I said, yes, officer, it is. And he sees my thin blue line hat. He goes, are you a cop? I said, I'm not. Most of my friends and family are, but I wouldn't bother calling any of them right now because they're going to deny knowing me at this point. So he says, I'm going to need your boarding pass. So now I'm in a little bit of a meltdown mode, as I'm sure you can understand. We have the state police explosives team. I've shut down an entire terminal. So I'm dumping out my bag, throwing stuff all over the place, desperately trying to find my boarding pass. It's in my hand. I don't even realize it's in my hand. So I look over. I figure, you know what? I'm going to make eye contact with my boy, the Marine. And as soon as I do, he's going to sort of ground me, bring me down. I'll be okay. And I look over, and he's like, bro, I'm filming the whole thing. I got this. Real big help that guy was. So the guy opens it up, and he takes it apart, and he's taking photos of it, and he's taking photos of the x-ray, and he's sort of smiling. And I said, are those photos for Facebook? He goes, they're for the FBI report. And so long story short, he ends up confiscating the frag grenade. And he gives me back the 50 cal and the 30 millimeter. And I said, how much trouble am I in? And he said, well, technically, I don't think you broke any laws. I said, well, that's good. He said, no, it's not good because this is TSA. And the law and TSA, they're not really the same thing. I said, well, what are we looking at here? He goes, well, you're probably going to have to appear back here in court in Vegas. I'm like, Vegas? He goes, yeah, you're facing about a $5,000 fine. I'm like, what? He goes, you have TSA pre-check? I said, I do. He goes, yeah, not anymore, you don't. So he hands me back the 50 millimeter, the 50 cal and the 30 millimeter, and he says, all right, you're all set with that. We'll be in touch. And I'm looking at, anyone ever see a 30 millimeter? These things are huge, and it's got a sharp pointed end. I said, I can bring this thing on the plane? He goes, yeah. I said, I can stab somebody in the neck with this. He goes, really? Really? You want to? I said, forget it. I'm just kidding. I'm going to go get on that plane. So, of course, we go to get on the plane, and my creative director looks at the Marine. He goes, hey, remember that time my boss tried to smuggle a pocket knife and a hand grenade onto an airplane? So I'm never going to live that down. So 2 days later, the founder of Law Enforcement Today calls me up, and he says, this relationship is going great. We'd like to make you our national spokesman. And I said, there's sort of an FBI report out there right now that I think we have to have a conversation about. So I told him the story, and he was fine with it. But I said, why would you tap me as your national spokesman? I think you missed the part where I'm not a cop. And he starts laughing. I said, what's so funny about that? Are you playing a joke on me? He goes, no, that's exactly why we want you to be our spokesman. I said, I don't follow you, brother. He goes, you can do one thing that we can't do. I said, what's that? He goes, you can run your mouth, and there's no police department in America that can fire you. Touché.